All right, let's talk about debt. Because getting out of it, it's not just a numbers game, is it? It's a battle of psychology versus math. Today, we're diving into two super powerful strategies, the snowball and the avalanche. One is all about your behavior, the other is about pure logic. And by the end, you'll know exactly which path to freedom is the right one for you.
You ever just feel trapped by debt, like you're stuck? Yeah, you are definitely not alone in feeling that way. And that feeling, that sense of being completely overwhelmed, that's precisely why any old plan won't do. You need the right plan for you.
But here's the good news. There's more than one way out of this maze. In fact, we're going to look at two very different, but both very effective methods. And I promise, by the time we're done, you'll feel way more clear on how to pick your strategy and, most importantly, how to start making real progress.
Okay, so at their core, these two methods are built on totally different ideas. Think of it this way. On one side, you've got the snowball. That's all about your behavior, about getting those quick wins to keep you fired up. And on the other side, the avalanche. That one's pure math, all about being as efficient as possible. It's really the classic showdown, heart versus head.
All right, first up, the debt snowball. Now, its secret weapon isn't a calculator, it's your brain. This whole strategy is built around the power of psychology. It's for anyone who gets a huge boost from seeing progress and seeing it fast.
So here's the deal with the snowball. You line up your debts from the smallest dollar amount to the biggest, and you completely ignore the interest rates. I know it sounds a little weird, but the whole point is to knock out that first, smallest debt as fast as you possibly can. That quick win gives you this incredible momentum that you then use to roll into the next one.
And the process itself? Super straightforward. Step 1, list them out, smallest balance to largest. Step 2, you keep paying the minimum on all of them. But, and this is the key, every single extra penny you have goes toward that smallest debt. Then, once it's gone, poof, you take all the money you were paying on it and you roll it right on top of the minimum payment for the next smallest debt. And that's it. That's how the snowball starts getting bigger and bigger as it rolls downhill.
But, and this is a big but, there's a trade-off. A really important one. The snowball gives you this huge psychological boost. Knocking out a debt feels amazing, right? It keeps you going. But the catch? Well, because you're not paying attention to those pesky interest rates, you are almost guaranteed to pay more in total interest in the long run.
Okay, so now let's flip the coin and look at the other side, the debt avalanche. This method, it couldn't care less about your feelings. Seriously, it's all about one thing, finding the absolute cheapest, most financially efficient way to get to a zero balance.
So with the avalanche, you're doing the exact opposite of the snowball. You order your debts from the highest interest rate down to the lowest. The actual dollar amount of the loan doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is attacking the most expensive debt, the one that's costing you the most money, first.
The how-to part is gonna sound really familiar. You list your debts, but this time it's by interest rate, highest to lowest. You pay minimums on everything, and then you throw every spare dollar at that monster debt with the highest interest rate. You know the one, that credit card that's just eating you alive at 22%. Once that's paid off, you take that whole payment and you roll it into the next one on the list.
So what's the catch here? Well, the math is crystal clear. The avalanche will save you the most money on interest. Period. Full stop. But, and this is its Achilles heel, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Progress can feel painfully slow, especially if your biggest interest rate is attached to a huge loan. It can take a long time to get that first win, and honestly, sticking with it is tough.
All right, so we've met our two contenders. Now let's put them in the ring, head to head, and really break down what happens when psychology and math duke it out.
And this is where it all comes together. Look, with the snowball, you're focused on behavior. You attack the smallest balance to get that fast, motivating win. The trade-off? You'll pay more in interest. With the avalanche, it's all about the math. You attack the highest interest rate to save the most money possible. The trade-off? It can feel like you're going nowhere for a really long time. It's a direct choice between emotional wins and financial efficiency.
Okay, so now that we've laid it all out, the question really turns back to you. This isn't about some abstract financial theory anymore. This is about your personality, your money, your life. So which path sounds like it was made for you?
Let's be real. The snowball method is probably for you if you know you need those quick wins to stay pumped up. If you're someone who has started and stopped a bunch of plans because you just ran out of steam, this method is practically designed for you. You're basically saying, you know what, I'm willing to pay a little more in interest because the motivation boost means I'll actually see this through to the end.
But if you're a numbers person through and through, the avalanche is calling your name. If your number one non-negotiable goal is to save every possible penny on interest, this is it. If you're disciplined, you're patient, and you can look at a spreadsheet and get excited by the long-term savings, you're a perfect fit for the avalanche. You trust the math, and that's all the motivation you need.
And really, if you remember only one thing from all this, let it be this quote: "The best debt payoff plan is the one you actually stick with. It doesn't matter what's optimal on paper if you quit after 3 weeks. Consistency is everything. A good plan that you follow is 1,000,000 times better than a perfect plan that you don't."
So let's end with a question for you right now. You get the difference, right? Snowball's for motivation. Avalanche is for math. So what's your first step? Like, what are you going to do right after this? Are you going to go list out your debts by the balance, or are you going to sort them by interest rate? The power really is in your hands now. The choice is yours. Go make it happen.